The Seahawks claimed victory over the Denver Broncos and former quarterback Russell Wilson.
And how exactly the poor air quality is impacting our students tonight on Murrow.
Good evening, I'm Diego Moctezuma.
And I'm Catherine Rowley. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
The air quality in Pullman continues to get worse. According to IQ Air, Pullman has an AQI of 176. The poor air quality caused a tennis class at Wazoo to get canceled. Students on campus have been dealing with this smoke for a week or so. People may experience difficulty breathing and throat irritation with prolonged exposure and are encouraged to limit outdoor exposure.
There are currently 8 fires that are burning in the state of Washington and 4 in Oregon. The smoke that is billowing all over the state is currently moving our air quality to an unhealthy area. According to the Northwest Interagency Coordination Center, none of these fires are contained. However, the National Weather Service, which is based in Spokane, has issued an air quality warning.
The University of Idaho issued an emergency alert of a man threatening students with a knife. Moscow police received a call nearby a steam plant on Paradise Path where the students were threatened. No one was hurt, thankfully, as he was last seen heading east. Moscow police are actively investigating the ongoing case, and anyone with information on the suspect is being asked to contact Moscow Police Department.
This past week, Whitman County reported 69 new cases of COVID-19. The count updated this week is the county's largest jump since June. The county reports its infections once a week.
The first death from the monkeypox outbreak was reported in Los Angeles County. Officials say that the president was severely immunocompromised and was in the hospital before their death. This citizen is one over 1,500 people who tested positive for monkeypox in LA County and one of 4,000 people diagnosed in California, making California the largest hotspot for the virus in the country.
The 74th Primetime Emmy Awards hosted by SNL's Kenan Thompson took place yesterday. HBO's Succession had the most success, taking home 10 awards, and Apple TV's Ted Lasso had the second most with 5. And some on the internet are reacting negatively to Jimmy Kimmel's skit where he played dead during Quinta Brunson's acceptance speech.
The coffin of Queen Elizabeth has arrived at Buckingham Palace. Her coffin was flown from Edinburgh to London and was then driven to the royal residence where it will stay overnight. Princess Anne, the late Queen's only daughter, accompanied her on her final flight. Coming up, Wazoo announces the town that will be headlining this year's film.
And weather person Grady Glover gives us a look at our final warm days before we dip into fall. Next on Murrow News 8.
All right, we got a minute.
WSU is about to get a little funnier. Comedian Hassan Najib will be traveling to Pullman to be this year's performer for Fall Family Weekend. Family Weekend will take place November 11th through the 13th, and tickets will go on sale for the event on Monday, September 26th. So mark it on your calendars now to make sure to get those tickets.
Wazoo will be hosting a 2-day DARPA conference in the Compton Union Building. The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency belongs to the U.S. Department of Defense's research. Attendees have the opportunity to hear about a variety of subjects, including the future of computing, the role of artificial intelligence, military supply chain vulnerabilities, and more. Wazoo has a long history in power grids and power engineering, and the DARPA could be a great funding industry for Wazoo.
The Seattle Public Schools teacher strike officially ended Monday night. The Seattle Public Schools and Seattle Education Association came to a tentative agreement. The teachers' biggest concerns were pay and classroom support, especially for students with special needs. The strike ends after students have missed 5 days of school dating back to September 7th and the original first day of school. There is no official start date announced yet, but school is expected to begin soon.
As you've heard, the air conditions remain fairly unhealthy during this smoky time. Our weather person has some insight into the weather ahead. Over to you, Grady.
Thank you, Diego. Yeah, as you said, air quality index looking right around 178, almost into that 180 range. So definitely not super healthy, unhealthy for sensitive groups. And then today, the weather, smoke's starting to affect the weather a little bit. 75 is the high for today with a low of 54. As well as you can see here, we have a sunrise at 6:24 and just a little bit of wind that's kind of pushing that smoke and that haze around, but really not doing a whole lot of getting it out of here just yet. As we look at tomorrow, pretty similar day to today. It's going to be just a high, a little bit lower of 73, except for the first time in, looks like a little over a week, it's going to be raining for the first time, about 40% chance of rain. And as we look across the state of Washington, we're going to be seeing a little bit higher temperatures. Over in Spokane and Tri-Cities, it's going to be 83 with a low of 56 in both Spokane and Tri-Cities. And then as well as over onto the west side, Seattle and Olympia are 70 and 72 respectively over there. Lows 57 and 52. And then if you go back to Pullman, looking at that 5-day forecast, it's going to be getting a little bit cooler, and as you can see later into the week, hop over here, it's going to be down to 62 and 60 on Saturday and Sunday. And even though the weather is getting cooler, with Pullman weather, you never know when the heat will come back. And so here is some advice to keep and combat those higher temperatures.
Thank you, Grady. Coming up, the details on Russell Wilson's homecoming defeat.
And WSU hosts Colorado State for the Hall of Fame weekend when we return.
Yes.
Seattle Seahawks opened the 2022 season on Monday Night Football with a win against the former Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos. The close game ended with a 64-yard field goal attempt by Broncos kicker Brandon McManus that flew just left of the uprights and sealed the victory for Seattle. Seahawks quarterback Geno Smith had this to say after his first opening day start in 8 years. The road next week to play their division rivals, the San Francisco 49ers. WSU will induct an all-female class into the Athletic Hall of Fame this weekend. AD Pat Chun announced that there will be 8 individuals and 1 team inducted. Among the class is WSU professor Tammy Crawford and the 1991 women's basketball team, who was the first in program history to make it to the national championship game. WSU is coming into the last weekend of non-conference games. The Cougs will play against Colorado State this weekend after upsetting the then 19th ranked Wisconsin Badgers. The Cougs are currently 2-0 while Colorado State is 0-2. The game starts at 2 p.m. at Giesa Field. We hope to see you there. Coming up, the results for the U.S. News and World Report, the U.S. News and World Report's best college list. Who will rise and who will fall? Find out where WSU and our neighbors at the University of Idaho land after the break.
I'm sorry about that.
It's all right.
The results are in from the U.S. World News Report's best college list. University of Idaho was ranked as the U.S. 176th best overall university, while Wazoo is ranked 212th on the university list.
And in better news, WSU still holds its rank as 4th safest college in America. We hope you guys enjoyed watching and have a great night.